right, everyone, thanks so much for listening to another episode of Full Body Cast Presents Random Chats with Adam. Adam Kenny on the mic.
Hey, yo.
He is my brother. I am Travis Kenny, the King of Cole Street. Don't call me that, but people call me that. I don't call me that.
Okay, King of Cole Street.
Kane of Cole Street.
King of Cole Street.
King of Cole Street. All right, so we ended the episode last week, but before we get into that, or last time, before we get into that,
What?
I just wanted to ask you.
You're snapping at me like Kevin Hart.
I wanted to do this before we go. I wanted to get
to Vegas?
I want to get your pre-Vegas conversation real quick.
Okay.
And then when you come back, nice to have a post-Vegas conversation.
good.
Okay, so we're not the full time. We're not in town.
Okay.
But we are going to talk about some of it. Real quick,
Yeah.
describe in your words, since you're a blogger now, and you love using your words, and you said crust it over snow last time, you can use good ad-libs. What are you thinking Vegas is going to be like?
Terrifying.
No, seriously, what do you think? Just describe what you feel your experience is going to be.
Whores on every corner. Satan twirling his tail at me. Is that good Mad Libs?
Those are great Mad Libs.
Thank you. What do I think Vegas is going to be like? I think it's going to be basically kind of like walking through a, I wouldn't think Seattle, but like a smaller city type thing. I mean, it's a strip, right? Is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few, I don't know, a half hour's worth of blocks through Bellevue or something like that.
Okay.
And it's just going to be a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Some dressed normal.
Yep.
Some dressed not very normal.
Okay.
And each place along there is going to have some sort of gambling opportunity. There's going to be a lot of shops that are trying to sell you stuff. And it's not going to be crazy noisy, but there's going to be music and noise playing and lights and stuff. But I just feel like it's going to be kind of like adult Disneyland in a way. Like not adult like, hey, Cards Against Humanity, late night Adult Swim entertainment, but like adult, like this is for adults to enjoy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's good. I like that. I'm not going to ruin anything for you. I want you to, you've built it up in your head in a way, not built it up, but you've got it in your mind of what it's going to be like. Yeah, it's going to be a version of that. But I think you're going to be quite surprised and pleased. And I think you're going to be surprised on how things are actually in Vegas. Like I remember when I was a kid and it was like, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I didn't catch that commercial. Somebody say that to you?
No, they had to stay. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I know. Yeah, but I never heard it said like that.
Here's what you're gonna see, though. I will tell you this: you're gonna see a lot of people, like you said. Yeah, there's gonna be shops. You're gonna hear music. There's gonna be lights. I wish, I hope,
I pray
that I live, laugh, love. That you will go again this year.
Later
This year, if we can hook it up, where you're not, because we're going for our 60th birthday of our uncle, and so what that means is that there's going to be, birthday party night, and there's going to be a concert, and there's going to be a morning breakfast. So what I would like to do is almost go with you and your wife and just be like, okay, go enjoy this.
Yeah.
Because our time is pretty much, for the most part, scheduled out.
Yeah.
So, because there's a lot of fun things to do. If you were to go to the Mob Museum, that's a full 2 hours of just walking around and seeing videos and seeing relics and seeing outfits of gangsters behind glass and guns behind glass, and it tells you how Vegas came about. That's always a fun thing. There's just some, Area 15. full on. It's Fallout. It's literally Fallout.
You're like in a shopping.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden the lights go.
Yeah, I told you this already. Yeah. But but there's I mean, you could spend a full 7 hours there. And so going, if you were to ever go during the football season and you just wanted to sit in a pool and watch all the football games, or if you like, there's a lot of, or if you just wanted to just sit by a pool and get a cabana and just read. If you're a reader, Are you a reader, Adam?
I am.
Do you like to read self-help, or do you like to read like inspirational stories, or are you a guy that's like, you know what, I'm going to read about the murder in Massachusetts?
I don't read nonfiction stories, but I read. I either read fiction stories, usually classics, or I read nonfiction, not self-help books. Well, yeah, I guess you could classify them as that, but usually books that are a little more practical applications of different ideas and like more specific type stuff, not like motivational speaker type stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's stuff to help you maybe glean something from that you can apply to your life.
Apply to something specific.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I got you. A little more specific than just like, hey, go get a goal.
Right.
It's like, hey, if you're looking to save Microsoft Excel in a platinum folder for non-shareable useless loss, you would just YouTube that and just you would.
No, I would read the book on that because I think that everything you described sounds scintillating.
Oh man, I can't wait to go with you, man. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're cutting it close on Friday because our flight goes out at 8:25.
Yeah.
Amber gets off work 3:55.
Yeah.
Hopefully she gets back to our apartment by like 4:30ish.
Why don't you just pick her up from work?
Well, she doesn't work in the direction of the airport.
Okay.
So I'm just hoping we can get out the door and get to the airport. Well, we also have to park and shuttle.
The whole
just
thing.
A little bit worried about this flight out.
See, you and I are the same. You're in dad mode right now in a sense where you're like, okay, we got to get there 2 hours early and I got to get this, I got to get that.
Yeah.
You're going to hit the gate probably with 45 minutes to go.
Yeah.
I want to recommend this to you. Super recommend this to you. Download Pokemon Go. No, I'm dead serious.
No.
Yes, no. Listen,
Why?
Listen, because it's going to enhance the trip, and here's why. Every spot, every shop, they've got these Pokemon stops.
Yeah.
You're going to have so much fun, and you're going to hatch eggs. You're walking.
No, because what's the end game of that? Like, I don't want to have Pokemon Go as a distraction on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Like, if
I think you should.
I could see it if I had Pokemon Go and I was into it, it'd be amazing. But
Vegas
I would
is the
leave.
best place to go.
That's what I'm saying. I'd leave Vegas and I'd be like, okay, so now I'm playing Pokemon Go or no?
Yeah. When we go to Old Town, I want to show you. There's one game that you can't find it anywhere else, and I want to show you this game. It reminds you of a Nintendo 64 game of the graphics and how it plays, but it's a fun game if you can get in the bonus.
Okay.
There's a few things that I want to reserve. Like I almost just want to just like
blow off everything else
and just say, you know what, F this.
Yeah.
Me and Adam, we're gonna rule Las Vegas together.
King of the Strip.
King of Street. Yeah. King of Strip Street. You know, the first time I got there, the very first time I got there, we took a bus shuttle to, which don't do, get Uber or take a cab. I think, I'm meeting you at the hotel. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but we need to Uber from
download the Uber app.
Yeah,
if
I
you
think I have
it.
it. I think I have it. Yeah.
So, and then we went to Golden Nugget. We got there. I think we went out we got there middle of the day, and I'm walking by the pool, all glass. This is a good story. Don't yawn.
No, I'm sorry. I just got tired all of a sudden. I'm listening to your story.
Who's Hellboy?
Hellboy is like a character, a comic
character? No. Who's the actor from Sons of Anarchy?
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman is sitting in the corner of this pool.
Really?
Yes, reading a magazine. And I'm like, this is the first, after checking in, dropping my luggage off to then go downstairs. I haven't even seen a slot machine yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Ron Perlman over there. He's sitting there just enjoying. He's at the Golden Nugget. He's in the corner. You can tell he didn't want to be bugged. But it was like, who else am I going to see here? And no joke, I went out onto the Fremont Street. I saw Michael Jackson.
Okay.
He was a street performer.
Yeah.
No, but no. Other than that, I haven't seen anyone else famous there.
Yeah,
at all.
that's what I was thinking.
It was like it was crazy. I was like, I'm going to see everybody here.
Yeah.
And it was just that one time. And I've been to Vegas like 7 times, 8 times after that, and I haven't seen anyone famous since then.
That's funny.
Anyway, I'm excited to go.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm like I say, I'm nervous about that flight out. Interested to see how the rest of it goes. I'm also kind of worried that we're just itineraried out on this whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Break away from it if you need to.
both Amber and I want to be able to just kind of move at our own pace a little bit and have some meals out together and all that sort of stuff.
So my suggestion then, because I've done this twice, or not twice. I've done this. I do this either way. If I fly in early, then I'm enjoying my time, and I'm going to bed at a reasonable hour, and I'm sleeping, and I'm waking up at a decent earlier time. If I'm flying in late like you guys are, I'm going as ham as I possibly can that night. I'm out till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And then I'm blowing off everything in the morning. I'm waking up at 11 a.m., going to downstairs, get a coffee, and then hitting the day. So, I mean, you can, they have our itinerary that morning that we're going to go get Bloody Marys and breakfast and all that.
Yeah.
And Bloody Marys.
I've seen some videos on the Bloody Marys in Vegas. So there's a ton of great ones.
There's good ones. Even the bad ones are good. All right. Enough talking about that. Let's move in. Okay. So you wrote a list.
We're moving in.
You wrote a list over there.
Yeah.
What is that list that you made?
So this is a list of names of friends of mine or people that I know who I think would be good contributors, occasional contributors to the website that I'm designing.
That you're designing?
Yes.
Okay.
So the website I'm designing is basically, well, actually, let me back up. I have adamkennyart.com, and that was this is going to get kind of technical, but it was a WordPress.com website. And I've had that for several years, and I've been building it and working on it for several years. But I started reading, because I started getting into writing a little bit more, and I've been enjoying writing blog posts and things, and articles and whatnot. And so I was researching it, and this book that I got from Half Price Books, it's like
for everyone.
Half
Price Books for everyone.
Is that song? That's a different song, isn't it? I don't know. This book is basically you're building your blog without selling your soul, essentially. Like how to make money with your blog without selling your soul. So I was reading this book, and they said, first thing you want to do is, if you're on a WordPress.com site, switch to a WordPress.org.
Why is that?
Because WordPress.com is very limited in its features for bloggers and for marketing and for advertising and for designing your website. WordPress.org has tons of customization options and things you can do to make it more palatable for an audience, easier to customize yourself as the designer. And it was designed specifically from the ground up as a blogging platform, and it's grown into, probably most of the websites you see are based in WordPress.org. And so I had to get a host, bluehost.com, and anyways, I got my WordPress. So I'm working on that right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm starting to get my website looking good, but I still have to build a whole lot more. But what I want to do with my website, it all started with Adam Kenny Art, me just trying to get my art out there on the internet and get, myself there, so that if people were interested in my art, they'd have a place to go to, right? To see, to connect with me, or see some of my stuff, or even to buy some of my stuff. And what I'm starting to do, though, is I'm realizing that what I really like, and this came from me teaching a couple classes, what I really like about art is that it can transcend, but what I really like is, I mean, I like painting, I like drawing, but what I really enjoy is encouraging and inspiring, or being encouraged and being inspired. And so as I've been writing, that has been coming up out of me. I've just been like really enjoying writing these things that I hope are inspirational or encouraging. And so I want to kind of shift with my website to where it's still, there's still a whole section, the whole area, there's an about me, it talks about my art. I have an art shop, all that sort of stuff. But I like this sort of cultivation of a place where what I want to build is a place where artists and creatives can go once a week or twice a week to read something or see something that will kind of start their week or start their day and make them feel inspired. And so anyway, so I wrote down this whole list of people.
So let me say it back to you so I understand what you're saying. Okay. You're looking to include other people that will contribute to your website that is going to help, and they're artists or they're from some sort of artistic background, and and that you're going to have them write a little blurb, almost a devotional, if you will, every so often on
kind of, or like whatever.
They're a guest, basically.
Yeah, essentially. And what I would do in return, hopefully, is hopefully I'd have enough of a platform for them to, having them on would build my platform potentially.
Right.
And it could potentially, I would be giving them a center stage to get attention on their own stuff.
So go ahead and say your list. Sorry about that.
No, I don't really want to read my list.
Okay.
It's a bunch of people
did I make your list?
You didn't currently.
Oh, okay, great, cool. I'm an artistic person that has stuff too. I could write a blog about some things that I've learned.
I literally, I had
There's like 10 people on that list right now, and I didn't make.
No, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're my ninth. I was literally going to be writing you down, and then you started asking me about my list.
Oh, sure.
I'm serious.
You know what? I was going to ask you out on the date, but you decided that I do that.
No, this is I totally want you on my list because you're so enjoyable.
So that's kind of my idea that I had with the Full Buddy Cast when I originally.
So you stole it,
and people ask me. I actually had this the other day. Sandra Wilcutt. We were at Desi B's birthday party, and Sandra hit me, or came. I'd never met Sandra before. She very nice. She's from on the community page. We've been posting, like, hey, we're out with Desi, and can I come? Yeah, absolutely. Come on out. So she said, and I get this question quite a bit. Hey, explain to me this podcast. What is it, a podcast? And I've had other people say, why does Travis Kenny have a podcast? And it's true. They've asked other people, and that other people have told me, hey, so-and-so was asking, why do you even have something like this? First off, A of all, B of all, two of all, I am just doing it for fun.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say a little anecdote is that Travis likes to talk. He does. Because I got here. Well, that's not an anecdote, but this is an anecdote. I got here.
That's not an anecdote. What are you? You friggin', what's that Australian guy? You go, that's not a knife. This is a knife. Friggin' Crocodile in Dundee. That's not an anecdote. This is an anecdote.
Saying he likes to talk is not an anecdote. But when I got here, Travis was working. He works from home right now. He was working. He was chatting. He's talking to his team, doing a lot of stuff there. Yeah. And then he had to do a call with somebody, and he was chatting with them, working through stuff. And so I'm sitting there just kind of taking it in, playing my Vegas app, trying to get those Vegas points.
Aren't those friggin'
getting ready
points for
Vegas. And I'm thinking, man, Travis is going to be just too wiped to talk to me after this, do podcasts with me. And I brought it up, and he's like, no, let's talk.
Let's go.
I like talking. So
yeah, I got done.
So he likes podcasts.
I like podcasting. So that's the first thing. I like talking. I like entertaining, and I like
coughing.
I like coughing in the face. I like conversation. I had Ira Potter here this week, recorded with him. I don't know Ira that well. I know him through the podcast. He came to a live event that we hosted at Cole Street Brewery. Shout out Cole Street Brewery, sponsor. Ira became a Patreon that day, gave him a t-shirt, and then he edited his pledge. His pledge was like $5 a month. And when I get the Patreon pledge a month, I'm always like, it's usually down to 0. People will jump on, and then a few months later, it hits their bank account again, like that $5 every month or $10 every month. And then they're like, I'm out, which is fine. I appreciate the time that they were there. I understand people with finances and inflation and everything else. So I got the notification. Ira edited his pledge, and it went from $5 to $50. And then it was like, those $50 people out there, those people that go, I got to treat them I got to bring them on.
Mm-hmm.
I got to talk to them. And then on the 30th, right before the automatic transmission goes through, so I haven't got $50 from him yet, he edited it down to $5. So I only got $5. But then I called him out on it I'm like, what are you doing saying that? I'm expecting this $50 over here. You go down to $5. That's like, and so then he heard it, laughed, and then he's been 50 ever since. So I bring him on, and I only know him through that. So I like having those conversations. I like talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reason I have a podcast is to entertain people.
Yeah.
I thought, and Adam said this in the last episode, you think about your audience and you see podcasts and you go, man, Joe Rogan. And I don't want to be Joe Rogan, but they hit millions of people. I was listening to TJ Miller, cashing in with TJ Miller, with Cash Levy and TJ Miller. And those guys are like worldwide in a sense, mostly nationwide. I like them. Adam listens to Ear Bomb and
Giant Bomb
and Ear Flesh.
There's no ear anything.
Ear Sludge.
Ear Flesh is a great name for something, though.
Yeah. There you go. It's yours.
Ear Flesh. My new blog, Ear Flesh, for artists.
And then you get a diet one, like a one where it's like, like the Ear Flesh is like an hour long and it's huge. So then you do a diet one a little bit lighter, like maybe it's 5 minutes, and it's Ear Flesh Light. And what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you didn't like that? I thought that was a great idea. But anyway, Adam's giving me the disapproving look. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah. So
I'm crossing your name off the list of contributors.
Oh man, Homer Robertson just hit me up. He's been listening to all the different the old podcasts. And he said, by the way, Richard Sherman, he's
when you had Richard Sherman on your pod?
I did. Homer Robertson is the security. He's a security for the Muckleshoot. He said, by the way, Richard Sherman is the only person we let wear a hoodie on his head. LOL. Which is true. He had a hoodie on his head when I saw him. Anyway, back to talking about this. So I like entertaining. I like talking. I like all this stuff. What was I saying prior to this?
You lost me.
I know. Anyway,
you were talking about your audience.
And I thought, and then once it became a central, because I was bringing on people from Kent. I was bringing on people from Auburn. I was bringing on people from my past, church, Safeway, high school, family, and tagging people. And I thought the more I tag people, the more I could bring people to listen. And then one person might listen to that. Oh, and I like the style. I mean, maybe, you know what, I was thinking in my head, like, okay, so if I tag like Jacqueline Morgley, for instance, and in a pod, I'm probably going to get 60 people to listen to that in one episode. And maybe one will go, I like that style. And I'd catch one. And then I'd have Adam on, or I'd have Joey on, or and as things started to steamroll, I sure enough was collecting. But once I started seeing what really was collecting was the local stuff. And then once you get sponsors locally, it's like, you know what? As much as I want to be a pit bull, and I want to be Mr. Worldwide. I am actually little wiener dog in Selleck, and I am Mr. Local, and I'm okay with that. I own that. Mm-hmm. I take my lake shirt off, even though I'm fat and hairy, and I go swim with the shirt off, and I own my weight gain, and I own the back hair, and I just go have fun.
Yeah.
put a lake shirt on, people know that you're uncomfortable and it's weird. It's clinging to you weirdly, and you're pulling it off you, and it's get out of the lake, and it's cold, and
and literally, what are you hiding?
What are you hiding? We all know. We can see it. It's clinging to you. You're wearing a white lake shirt. Everyone can see through it.
And to clarify, a lake shirt in this case is just a t-shirt.
Yeah. It's just a t-shirt.
It's just a t-shirt.
Just a t-shirt. People can see it.
They're not fooling you.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's like, what are you wearing? You're like, oh, this is a lake shirt.
This is a lake shirt.
Like, no, it's just a t-shirt.
No, it's just a t-shirt. You're swimming in it in the lake, and you're trying to cover your fat, you dummy. Own it. This isn't a cloak of invisibility from Harry Potter. We can see everything. It's actually a cloak.
Meanwhile, you're not
of
wearing
magnification, and your wiener's out. And they say, is that an Audi belly button you got there? It's pretty low. Anyway.
Disapproving look.
And it's cold water. So you...
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Back to me.
Back to you. I like it. You're going to take people in. I like that. You're going to get that.
Yeah.
But I do want to let you know.
Well, the thing is, these aren't just people. These are artists. All these people are artists except for you. Because you insisted. No, that's not entirely true. A couple of them are just people who have created things, right? So
nice. I like that. Create. Anyway, residual COVID. I had it. I've talked about it. People know.
I know. I'm happy to be in this room with you.
I am not hiding it from anyone. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I get it. I because I think I can feel the same way as like, oh, the more I get people viewing or reading something, like if you, for instance, were to write something from my blog, you'd probably get people who listen to your podcast to read it.
Yes.
They're not going to stick around.
They might.
I'm just saying it's not in my best interest to imagine that they will stick around to read the rest of my blog posts or to just check in all the time, because I'm not tailoring content for them.
Sure.
So I think if anything, you just might lend a little bit of flavor to my website.
But I know that if I read one thing, I'll read another. That's typically how I am. If I want to watch one video, I may not go check in on it. Something might suck me in, though.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Adam. Let me ask you this. It's a question that's asked quite a bit for personality tests as well as job interviews and all that.
Where do you picture yourself in 5 years?
Would you like to be someone
yes.
that is a master of one thing and good at very good at one thing and okay with other things? Or would you like to be someone that is decently good at many things?
So that's an interesting question, because I think right now I'm decently good at many things, but I think I'd like to be a master of one thing. So that's actually I don't think you're born that one way and then that's your way for the rest of your life necessarily. I think you can make choices to become the master of the thing. So I'm kind of at a stage in my life right now where I've tried a lot of different things and I've gotten pretty good at a lot of different things, because I feel like I'm a pretty adaptable or adept person. But I think at some point you got to pick a lane, because you're going to make so much more progress if you just stick with that one thing. If you're constantly going in different directions,
no one can anticipate you.
Well, and you're just not going to make you're not going to, like, if you look at the analogy of actually going in different directions, you're not going to move very far if you're going constantly different ways. But if you just stick to one lane, you're going to make progress.
So then with this, as you're looking at this, and you've got other creators coming on and talking about different types of things.
Yeah.
Is the theme the same? Is it like, what, like, are you going to keep it where it's like, this is how I started, or this is my idea, or this is where I'm at now, or this is my struggles, or what are you looking at in this, for asking these people?
What I want is every article on this website to have something to do with inspiration.
Okay.
And so
I know you said that, but yeah, keep going.
Whether that's something where somebody's just sharing a painting that they did or a drawing that they did and talking about it, that can be very inspiring for somebody to look at, an artist or creative to look at and be like, okay, what was their mind when they were making this? You know, where were they at? So even if that's out there, it doesn't have to always be and like some touching story or some article that really makes you think hard about your life, but just something where if you read it, by the end of it, you're thinking, that gave me a little something to think about. Maybe a starting point this week or this day to sort of vibe on. And I think everybody's going to approach that maybe a little bit differently. So I think because I've written my fair share of quote unquote inspirational articles and blogs and stuff, and it can get kind of samey. So I think that there's actually a lot of ways you could approach it. Yeah.
So there's no I in team, but there's 3 I's in inspirational. Inspiration. No. Yeah, there's 3 I's in inspirational.
Yeah.
Or inspiration even.
It's true.
Is it okay to be the I in inspiration?
What do you mean by that?
Like an I in team, there's no I in team. But
I suppose so.
But there is an E and an M, which is me.
Right.
Or M, if you think about it. And for Travis, there's a T and there's an A for Adam. But either way, inspirational.
I'm following you.
Is it okay for there to be an I in inspiration?
Sure.
I think so.
What are you saying right now?
I think it's okay for someone to be like, not selfish about it.
No,
but to say this is my experience in inspiring someone.
Sure, because
maybe your title, as I'm getting to, is put the I in inspiration.
My title for what?
Your blogs.
No.
Well, what do you call your blog titles then?
Well, all the blog titles are going to have their own titles.
But how were people going to know that inspirational is your theme?
I'm going to be it's going to be in bright lights, big city on. It's not going to be the title of the blog,
but it's going to say I for inspiration.
But it's going to be.
We put the I.
I don't know about that, but it's going to be. It's just going to be apparent. I'm going to make it as clear as possible.
I like it.
But anyways, So I'm excited about this. I think you're right. I don't think it is selfish to try to inspire people.
Because there's an I in selfish.
My goodness, my friend. There's also an ish. I'm having.
I put the fish in selfish.
I put the selfie in selfish.
Anyway, okay, so then that's going to be a thing. So then, how are you going to go about it? Like, are you reaching out? Like you said, artists. Do you know these people personally? Some of them you do, some you don't.
No, I know all these people personally currently.
Gotcha.
So,
is there anyone that you might like? I didn't know Tim Noah personally. Is there anyone that you like? You should put like a big fish on there. Put the fish in selfish, and go. Who is my white whale?
Possibly, and so that's a good thought to do that. Right now, I'm going to build with what I have, just kind of like you did. You didn't get Tim Noah episode 1, right? You got me.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm a far cry from Tim Noah.
But there is an I in Tim.
There's a TMI in Tim.
It's also an MIT in Tim.
Mm-hmm. There's also an NO in Noah.
It's also an AH in Noah.
Is there a haunt in Tim Noah? HAUNT? I think so.
There's not.
Dang it.
No, but there's a moat.
And a tum Noah.
There's a moat.
You done?
Yes, I enjoy you.
Are you from Sesame Street? Is this small talk?
This is small talk.
Starts with a T.
I want to talk about real quick. The other day / night, we were able to finally get together with mom and dad.
Yes.
And a couple of my kids and my wife and your wife, and we were able to celebrate Christmas and do Christmas stuff. And there's an I in Christmas. You is not in Christmas, but
it is in but.
You you're known for bringing board games. And then you threw a friggin' curveball and was like, hey, we're going to do a type of like...
It's a party game. Parlor game.
That everyone writes down on a piece of paper. Like it's just charades or guessing game. It's not like, let's get the board game out and you get to guess these people. It was, we come up with it. We write it down on slips of paper. We were Neanderthals that day.
But we had fun. And the fun for me was I was trying to ruin it the entire time. You failed.
Was it fun for you as I was trying to?
I didn't actually think you were ruining it. I thought you were doing little variations on the fun.
I was trying not to ruin it, but I was trying to be like, because I'm used to Adam bringing out these elegant games, and then he just shows up and just kind of like, oh hey, by the way,
well, okay, so I didn't just show up and go, hey, by the way, but. And there is a U in, by the way. But, so here's what happens at these family gatherings.
Yes.
Usually this time of year.
Paint the picture, Adam.
Is that I will bring, or Travis will bring, a game called A Few Acres of Snow. And Travis and I will sit there and play it for 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 3 games, right, worth of it. It's this, what is it called? The French Indian War themed game. It's really fun. It's really good. It's great. It's a 2-player game, 1-on-1, French versus British. But for everybody else, it's a little bit boring. And you had yourself. Well, okay, so we played Settlers of Catan.
We did. We had fun with that. We played a little bit of that.
We played that. Did we play another game earlier?
You played with the kids.
Oh, we played Villainous. With the kids,
yeah.
Because
Which took
a long time. That game, I tell you what, I feel like Villainous is a game for 3 players. That's like
you cannot go bigger than that.
Yeah,
no,
because it's just everybody takes too long on their turns.
2 players is fine.
Yeah, you start getting into 4 or 5, whatever.
Yeah, forget it. You're there for 2 hours.
But we had gotten Madden a couple different expansions for Villainous, and so she wanted to play with those. So we broke that open. It was fun. I won. Played Settlers of Catan. I won, and so but it ended up being you and Kane. And my parents and Amber and myself by the end of the day or whatever, late afternoon, early evening. And Kane and us had just celebrated his birthday type thing. We were back. And Kane was going to be there until late, and he seemed kind of bored, like he wasn't going to have much to do.
You know what?
And the parents were sitting there on the couch watching football with you.
Yeah.
And I would have totally been up for
That's a great point.
For a board game. But it was like, let's get the family doing something together.
Right.
And it's like, how often do you get together as a family? Holidays, right? And how often do you play a game like this? Like, this is the perfect environment for a party style game.
Yeah.
And you and I like strategy games.
Were you anticipating that later that night we would play a strategy game, or did I bum out because I was super tired?
No, I didn't necessarily at that point, because we had played the other games, and because like I don't think it would have been entirely fair to Kane for us to start it on a strategy game. I was fine without it. If you had brought, wait, no, you did bring Western Legends, but you were too tired.
Yeah, I was super. I went home and tired. So
we were pretty tired also.
Good call on that.
Yeah,
because
I give credit to Amber, because she was like, Kane's kind of seems pretty bored right now.
He had so much fun.
Yeah.
Like even afterwards, like the past couple days, we've been like having like insight. I said, so did you have any dreams last night about some weathermen? And he laughed, and he thought it was, like he had a great time. And Mr. like what did he call himself? He was like, I'm locked in, or he said something.
Oh yeah, Mr. Oh, what was it,
Mr. Guesser, or
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he was so funny. But that was a good call. Thank you for seeing outside of the box and seeing to include, and Amber as well, to seeing Kane to enjoy it. And Kane being the only kid there, usually, Matt and Megan, Jack, he was able to just be a part of it and not have to feel like he was in someone's shadow. So
yeah, it was fun. Just to explain the game a little bit, even though this isn't Bordacious, it's a game called Celebrity. Most people know it as Celebrity, but there's a printed version of it. You can buy it at the store called Monikers. There's another version called Time's Up, But basically, the idea is you play through a bunch of clues, people. You're trying to get people or places or whatever. But we played with fictional or real people written down on cards or scratch paper. And you draw it out of a hat or out of a deck, whatever. And you are in the first round, the first go through of all of them. You're split into two teams. You're trying to get your team to guess based on any information you can give them besides like things like, oh, this word rhymes with or whatever. You're just trying to get them to guess who it is. And once you've played back and forth between both teams through all of the clues, through all of the things, not clues, but the subjects, then you do a second full round through all of them with one word clues. And then you go do a third round all the way through them with just charades. But I was thinking of Kane. He was trying to get us to guess Mickey Mouse. And like you could have, and we had already guessed Mickey Mouse in the first round through all the clues that were given. And so now he has to give us a one word clue. And he could have said like Disney or Minnie or something like that. He said rat. Do you remember that?
For Mickey Mouse.
For Mickey Mouse, he said rat.
Because he couldn't say mouse.
But he could have said Disney. Or
I see.
Something like that. Anyways, I thought it was funny because that's kind of part of the fun of the game is seeing how somebody's brain works and what they latch on to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Travis is getting phone.
Sorry, I'm getting a lot of text messages going. Yeah, it was a fun time. What I liked about that game at first, what I didn't like about the game, I turned into an Uncle Don for a moment. I turned into
Yes.
a CS, and I'm not going to talk about this guy because he's whatever. But when Mafia comes out, you're like, oh gosh, I don't want to. Those guys. For me, I wanted to. I just was like, I was looking for strategy game, but now that I think about it, I'm like, that was a good call for Adam or for Kane, but it did make it a lot more fun to kind of know the people first, or know everything first. That first round makes it fun, and then the other ones are funny on top of that. I was so like whatever. Like the first time I was like, okay, I'm going to put some people in that people will know. And they're like, hey, let's play it again. And I'm like, all right. Well, now I'm going to start throwing people in like Jack Tripper and Fran Drescher.
and Carl Winslow.
I should have kept going with that. Like Liz Lemon and others. Yeah. But then and then the third round, it was like, all right, well, I guess we're playing this again. Well, guess what? I'm going to do all Weathermen. So I did Jeff Renner, and I did Steve Poole, and Al Roker, and Andy Wappler, and Willard Scott. And I dropped those names in the hat.
Fun. But it was so funny because then I had to act out these characters. So it gave me an opportunity to try to differentiate between these different people.
And then Alex Trebek was in there, and he's like the same thing as a weatherman. He just stands there. You can't do a charade with the guy with the mustache because that's Jeff Renner.
Yeah.
So
it was so funny. It was fun, and I think just sometimes a game where you're just like really thinking and like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to convert this into this, and I'm going to do. You're not really laughing or interacting very much, but like a game like that, sometimes it's just like the perfect time for it, where everybody gets to laugh.
Yeah. And it was winding down. Like I was tired, and it was like that good, like it was a good hearty laugh. And then I also kind of noticed something. Some people just like our family has hearty laughs, or like they can laugh. Once they start laughing hard, they laugh hard.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me that because I feel like Dad, he laughs quite a bit.
Yes, he does.
And it might be for us, like we might smile at it or we might kind of chuckle at it.
Yeah.
But he's like hand on the knee, like just laughing. And Mom is kind of the same way. Like there's some things that are funny.
Yeah.
And I find them funny too. I may not have the same reaction. But then I noticed that there's times obviously where I'm laughing super hard and they're not laughing. Yeah. It's just funny how people will just bowl over.
Yeah. Well, sometimes also you get hit the right way with something and you just can't stop laughing. Where it's like everybody else is thinking, it's kind of funny, but not that funny. But it just hits you in the perfect way.
The super perfect way.
Yeah.
With Bounty. I got to shout out Aaron Center real quick. Aaron, I've been playing with him PUBG. It's free to play right now. So if you ever want to download it, do you have the gaming console to do it?
I have PlayStation 4.
So he has the same thing. If you ever wanted to, and they just released it 5 days ago, free to play, cross-platform. So if you're ever bored and you want to download it and play with me and Aaron, we would love to have you.
Okay.
But I told him yesterday, I said, hey, oh, sweet. My brother's coming out. We were texting and we were playing together. Him and I were playing on PUBG. And he's like, dude, I want to crash that so bad right now. Would love to crash that episode. I would love to get on there with you and your brother.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But
I haven't
anyway,
seen Aaron in so long.
Shout out to Aaron. Yeah. Do you have any?
My wedding, I guess.
Do you have any free day? Do you have any? I know that Amber works. Is there any times where she's out with friends or doing something different where you might have like a night to yourself and would want to join us?
Like on a weeknight or a weekend?
Whatever. Okay. Typically Saturday mornings, Aaron and I will play. He wakes up early and he watches soccer and or European football. And
is that how they say it?
Yeah, there's no I in that, by the way.
European
football. There's no I in that. And then I'll wake up and I'll text him and we'll get our coffee and then we'll play for a few rounds. Same thing Sunday morning. And then some nights if nothing's going on.
Yeah, I mean playing a video game, like I have time to do that.
You do?
Yeah. I play video games like single player games.
Will you go home and will you download PUBG tonight? You don't have to play tonight, but just so that maybe in the next few weeks you can jump on at some point and we can all play. Madden plays too. If we could get 4 people, do you have a headset?
I don't have a headset.
You need to get a headset then.
I know it wouldn't be fun without one.
It's a PS4 headset?
PS4 headset.
Your birthday's coming up. Maybe we'll buy it.
You've already got me a birthday gift.
I did get you a birthday present, but maybe I'll go to the toy store and buy you a headset from 1925.
There we go.
All right. Anything more before we go that you wanted to talk about?
No, I don't think so. I've enjoyed being on here, and I thank you to all the listeners for putting up with myself. Travis is on his phone.
No, I pulled up the Patreons. I want to just shout out Kellen Hall, Holly Graff, Eric Madrid, Adam Kenny Art. Go check that out. Seth Loop, Cassie Spencer, Amanda Keating, Ira Potter, Shekinah Sarver, Jared Skelly, Homer Robertson, Veronica Lara, Ben Illman, James Robertson, the Dashing Jamie Kenny, Apollo Dolo, Jackson Hiddick. One thing, if you are out there and you're a Patreon and you want to be a segment, bump it up to 10 if you haven't done already. Jared Skelly did that with Garage Night, and he was throwing out $10 a month, and he would, because we were talking about fantasy football, we would bring in the Scary Skellies. So he would ask us the Scary Skelly fantasy football questions. Who do you start? Who's this? What's that? And so if you have something passionately that you're fun, entertaining, that you're like, yeah, I want you to ask every single person that you interview this month this question, and I want to get that answer from them, I will do that. If you have something for Adam and you want me to ask you the hilarious Homer or the shout out Shekinah or voracious Veronica, I could do this all day. Okay.
You didn't do one for Adam.
I'm a wordplay guy. Yeah. Adam, you know what you do? You put the damn in Adam. No, you put the ouch. But no, we would do artistic Adam. If there's something that you want me to ask,
adorable,
maybe
cute.
But if there's something that you want me to ask Adam each time we get together, hit me up.
Just
let me
the
know.
Same question every time.
Message me on Facebook. Text me if you have it. All right. Who's your shout out? You got a shout out yet?
To Brent Berry.
Brent Berry.
The winner of the slam dunk contest, 1996 or something?
Yeah, he was. I got a lot of different. Kane got me this. I don't know if you saw this already, I'm guessing.
Oh, no, I didn't.
So Kane got me this for the podcast room. It was like $40.
Whoa.
And it's a Ghostbusters Peter Venkman Mini Epics collector's one of 3.
Wow.
On the back, you can see like what else they have out there.
Slimer and Egon.
Yeah, but he got me a Ghostbusters thing. He's like, you're not gonna like it. Well, you're gonna like it, but you're not gonna like it, and you're not gonna think. Guess what it is? What do you think what it is? You know what and I couldn't guess it. I actually thought it was another controller, which is I like this way more.
Yeah.
So he rocked it. Shout out to Kane.
Cool.
Yeah. So
That's great.
So anyway, and then Mark. Hold on,
Are you going to leave it in this plastic? Or
Yeah.
are you gonna...
Oh yeah, it's a collector's item. Mark Herbert Schmidt got me this. He 3D printed this. It is crazy. He got this dinosaur. We can pull it out if you want to take a look at it. But he 3D printed that. A D-Rex. So
I'll just put that back in there.
You're the first person to pull that out and take a look at it. But yeah, it's pretty impressive. Yeah, about the same. Anyway, any shout outs for you on your side?
Brent Berry
for
his slam dunk contest win. He jumped from the free throw line.
Okay.
I think toe on the line a little bit, but pretty impressive.
Well, I'd like to shout out everyone listening. Shout out
Larry
to
Bird also.
Larry Bird as well. I guess you just like white basketball players.
That guy, can't think of his name.
Jim McIlvaine?
No.
Frank
the guy from
Burkowski?
Utah Jazz guy.
John Stockton?
Egan? No, not Egan. What's the guy's name? Eaton. Mark Eaton.
Mark Eaton?
Mark Eaton.
You just got one of our friends excited. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great week. Hit up Adam at
AdamKennyArt.com
or .gov. Just kidding. And then also Board Game Layout on Instagram.
Yeah, I haven't done much on that lately. But if you want, I always accept Venmos and help me pay off my student loans.
Let's do it. Student loans. We'll put a
Adam-Kenny-47 if you want to send me some money.
Or request it. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. Take care.